different time zones. So welcome to CPShub webinar for the series Construction Solutions from Finland. Truly excited to welcome you in our today's session where we explore innovation solutions from Finland and how can they address our key challenges facing construction and building materials industry in our region. So just to get the most of today's webinar, we will stay muted until, unless we are speaking. This session is recorded. This will be shared for those who have to drop out early or could not attend today. The question and answer session will be at the end of the presentation. However, you can post your questions in the chat here, and then we'll be addressing it at the end of the session. Just a brief introduction for those who don't know me. My name is Bilal. I'm the director of CPShub in the Middle East region, doing growth initiatives here, and a bit of a humble attempt to disrupt the construction industry through digitalization, meaningful connections within the stakeholders. I've got 15 years of experience in the construction and building materials industry across the region. My focus has always been market entry strategies, early demand creation, and very importantly, designer-led specification. Some of the key projects I have been involved with is NEOM, Red Sea, Qiddiya, Guggenheim Museum in Abu Dhabi, 5 towers in KFD. Of course, this requires a unique and deep understanding of the local fluency and stakeholder management. What drives me and CPShub is a vision to connect the construction ecosystem, both online as well as on ground, and this is what we believe in. Today, I'm very excited and thrilled to host the exceptional Finnish companies, and each of the companies offer very innovative solutions with the potential to reshape approach key challenges in the region. Here's a quick lookup on what we'll explore AIA slides. We will meet the presenters. We'll dive into the Finnish construction codes and standards, and then we'll get into some real challenges and smart solutions these companies and manufacturers bring on the table. And by the end, we will, as mentioned earlier, we'll wrap it up with a question and answer session. Who are AIA or REBA members? This would sound familiar. This session is registered with AIA for continued professional education. Of course, it does not imply AIA has any endorsement of any material or products here. We will address any product-specific questions at the end of the session. So please make sure your details, which are required on the right, are shared with us to ensure we issue CPD certificates after the session. Of course, this is currently under AIA approval, just to note that. So certificates will still be issued for the attendees. The contents are copyrighted here. We have session. So what is our takeaway? What are we going to probably learn from the session is we'll dive into smart and sustainable materials and systems that reshapes the building design. We'll explore real-world challenges like embodied carbon, performance gaps, and occupant health, and look at advanced solutions such as smart ventilation, log structures, composite sanitary ware, and many more, all aimed at creating high-performing, future-ready buildings. By the end of the course, you'll be able to spot key design and performance challenges, explore innovative material and system solutions, and understand global certifications and apply smart strategies to residential, commercial, modular, or mixed-use buildings. Of course, this is the last slide before I hand it over to our amazing presenters. Just to get familiar with the codes and standards, on the left is the international standards. Most of you might know CE, ISO, PFC on the left. But what's especially interesting are the Finland-specific codes and certifications on the right. And these reflect the country's strong focus on sustainability, product design, and low-emission construction, which you'll see more with the speakers. Now, I'll hand it over. We've got an amazing, fantastic lineup of presenters from Finland. each ready to share their insights, innovations, and maybe a few surprises for everyone. So each of the speakers will quickly introduce themselves before diving into the session. So Natasha from Woodeo, you're the first one. Hand it over to you.
Yes, hello to everybody joining from around the world, as I understood. I am Natasha Volgemut, and I'm based here in Helsinki, the capital of Finland. I know that my name is even difficult to pronounce for Finns and Germans. The latter country is where my roots are, so just feel free to call me Nata in the question and answer session at the end of this webinar. I'm a global sales director at Woodeo since a bit more than 5 years, and I'm cooperating and mutually exchanging knowledge with Woodeo's international customers, such as designers, engineers, constructors, and also retailers. My passionate work is definitely furthering the use of sustainable construction materials, especially wood composite alternatives to traditional sanitary ware and sheet material. I think we here are probably all aware that the construction sector accounts for roughly 40% of the CO2 emissions worldwide. But looking now, for example, at the sustainable goals of Agenda 2030 in Saudi Arabia and all of the innovative solutions being presented here today, it is great to see that the positive change is underway all around the globe. One area that has been notoriously overlooked for a long time is the sanitary world, even though it comes with its very own challenges. One of them being a high carbon footprint. The production of traditional ceramics and stone material requires high amounts of energy. For example, ceramics has to be burned at several thousand degrees for many hours, which for sure generates significant CO2 emissions. One alternative to these traditional materials is 100% waterproof wood composite. Wood composites in general are designed to be more durable and have a lower maintenance compared to plain wood. But they're also engineered to combine the natural strength and durability of wood with the benefits of synthetic materials, making them suitable for a variety of applications, for example, wash basins, toilets, bathtubs, and sheet materials. Wood composite is made from FSC or PEFC certified wood chips. It's normally around 70 to 80% of volume of the product, with the rest being a resin-based binder. An additional gel coating on top of the product can provide extra durability against scratching, wear, heat, chemicals, and humidity. But I would say the really big advantage of wood composite lies in the production process, which does not require any heat and only very little water. The material is pressed into molds, and the products then dry in room temperature. During the production phase, or the production phase has a 90% smaller CO2 footprint than comparable products made from other materials. And if you look at the overall life cycle, the CO2 footprint is still 50 to 70% smaller. In addition, wood composite is a lightweight material, which for sure also saves you CO2 and costs in logistics. And if we make a small detour to going away from the building sector and, for example, looking at the cruise ship industry, which is also now discovering the material, less weight is a massive advantage because it can save thousands of kilograms of CO2 in one ship. Another challenge for sure in wet spaces is the durability of the products and the moisture damage. I mean, life also happens in the bathroom, and I guess you all have seen already cracked ceramics, watermarks on stone material, or even puffed up edges on bathroom furniture before. So this definitely affects the aesthetics and, in the worst case, the functionality of the products, and leads to increased maintenance and replacement costs. Well, to stay realistic, no material is unbreakable, also not wood composite. So if somebody smashes it properly during transport, also wood composite basin will arrive in not one piece, but in several pieces. But the material has the advantage that it does not crack. It's very impact-resistant material, and the worst that can happen is that the material gets a dent when hit with something really heavy. But even this could be repaired on site with a fine sandpaper, for example, if needed. The last but not least issue is limited design flexibility. Standard fixtures, as we know them, restrict aesthetic creativity and offer limited adaptability to bespoke or space-constrained layouts. Wood composite, a sheet material, for example, can be used for building customized sanitary ware and furniture. It can be worked quite similar to regular wood, but definitely, as for example, use of a CNC machine would be beneficial in that process. In addition, the wood chips can be colored in many different shades and give the product then a distinguished look. For example, if you have a company that wants to use their specific brand color or a specific design idea. If I still shortly summarize the key benefits of wood composite, you would have a lower CO2 footprint, extended durability, lightweight, easy maintenance, flexible and design-friendly installation. And when we look at the relevant certifications, keep in mind, for example, ISO 9001 or then the EN codes for wash basins, it's 14688, 997 for toilet, or the 14516 for bathtubs. I have to say it has been a pleasure sharing all this info with you, and thank you and shukran. I would now like to hand over to Eya Shabani from Kontia. She will also present a wood-based solution, but focusing on much bigger parts than wood chips.
Thank you very much, Natasha. And what an interesting innovation you have. I have seen them also in real life, and it's very beautiful product you have. I thank also CPShub for inviting me to this seminar and giving the opportunity to bring log construction to the spotlight and bring awareness to our innovation. As Natasha told, my name is Eya Shabani, but you can call me Shabani. It might be more familiar and easy to you. I work as a business-to-business export specialist for world-leading loghouse company Kontia. I have over 20 years experience in log construction business and global operations. My background is in customer service, technical development, project management, house model design, as well as in training and resale network support. Despite of my very technical background, I have a people-first mindset and I build long-term partnerships. So don't hesitate to contact me with any of your questions also after this webinar. Let's shape the future of construction together with materials that matter. My topic today is engineered log building systems, the solution for advanced sustainable architecture with timber. We can say that there are three main challenges in a modern timber construction business. The first challenge is the increasing demand for low carbon and sustainable alternatives for traditional building methods, which have very high carbon footprint. Log meets this challenge very well, as log is a carbon storing structure. Timber acts as a natural carbon sink, reducing imported emissions, and it is 100% renewable material. Carbon footprint of a log house is half compared to similar concrete house. The second key challenge is high demands for energy efficiency and indoor air quality. We simply need healthier living spaces with reduced energy use. A log itself provides insulation and humidity control for indoor comfort and also energy efficiency by balancing the air temperature and humidity. The natural property of timber is that it stores both heat and coolness from the air and releases them back into the room air. This is why we can call log construction a breathable structure. In warm countries like in your case, this property can be utilized by cooling the room during the night when cool air is stored into the log walls. And log construction will naturally release it back into the room air during the day when exterior temperature rises. The third key challenge is durability and maintenance in harsh conditions, like in cold regions or in very hot regions. Changing climate degrades standard materials quickly, raising the costs and upkeep. Timber and log is a durable, low maintenance material. With long experience and knowledge of how to plan and produce durable log structures, log houses are very easy to upkeep and withstand harsh changing climates for generations. In Finland, we have log buildings that are over 500 years old. Proper planning is one key factor to durability, but also regular maintenance of exterior surfaces should not be forgotten either. And because at the end of its long life cycle, log structure can be relocated, reused, or recycled in many ways. So log itself is never a toxic waste. This year, log construction is also noticed in world's largest architectural fair in Venice Biennale in Italy due to its maintenance properties and durability, as Finland's own pavilion highlights both maintenance and durability of built environment. And log construction is a good example for that. Before I summarize the key achievements of log construction, I want to point out the most relevant codes and standards engineered log constructions follow. In the European market, the most important is, of course, CE marking. But we are also committed to support all the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And log house industry operates in accordance to ISA standards, and if it's necessary, lead and pre-amp performances will be also applied case by case. But in my opinion, the most important is that only PEFC certificated wood is used for the log construction, which means that all raw materials follow sustainable forest management. As a conclusion, the key achievements of the log construction are that log is strong, healthy, sustainable structure with long history and a long life cycle. In addition to good indoor air properties, log construction has also been tested to lower stress levels and heart rate due to good acoustic properties, as log walls diffuse sound without echo. Log construction is also strong in seismic hazards. For example, in Japan, log houses are very popular in seismic areas. And in fire situations, with its 60 to 120 minutes fire resistance, depending on the log dimension. Therefore, log construction suits very well from smaller villas and living houses to public and commercial buildings like offices, schools, daycares, and hotels as such, or in hybrid construction. Hopefully you received valuable information about benefits and possibilities of log construction in this short time, and feel free to ask more in Q&A session or after this webinar. And now I hand over to Mr. Jukka Tuhkanen from HEAL, who will present very interesting and stylish innovation, which can be also combined with the log constructions. Thank you.
Thank you, Eija, for the introduction. Very interesting, and I happen to know the product pretty well. And nice that you commented that it would be a perfect match for Kontio products also. So it is a great honor to be here with all of you, and I'm also honored to be invited as a speaker in this event and for the opportunity to present the sustainable performance and architectural impact of charred wood. A short introduction in the beginning and about myself. My name is Jukka Tuhkanen, in short Jukka or Juka, as I've learned that it probably is the best way to pronounce my name and hopefully remember. I have a 20+ year history in design, planning, and real estate development as a CEO, founder, advisor, both in sales and development. And today I work as a commercial director of a company called HEAL, and I'm globally responsible of partnerships and sales. So our company HEAL is we're a sustainable wood charring house established and HQ located in eastern part of Finland, Kontiolahti. And we at HEAL, we work with wood. Our focus is on scalable sustainability by combining surface charring with and innovative non-toxic linseed oil treatment. And what started basically this challenge, and basically it started the whole company, was one question presented to us: how to repurpose construction waste. That sparked a new idea and started the journey. And after taking up on that, it also became our challenge to be solved and mission to be accomplished. So there are large volumes of wood waste from construction sites, demolition projects, sawmills, side streams that are typically discarded or burned with no meaningful end-of-life strategy in place. So this lack of circularity leads to unnecessary environmental harm and the loss of valuable material. We wanted to keep the carbon storage in the wood and give a longer life cycle to it. So I will give you all a seed of thoughts regarding wood, which basically works as a leading idea of my presentation. So to produce 1 cubic meter of sawn timber, as in products, approximately 4 cubic meters of biomass/trees must be removed from the forest. So the ratio is pretty significant. So the question was, shouldn't we be aiming to recycle as much as possible and increase the utilization rate of materials that have already been harvested and processed? Upgrade waste wood where it is and return it where it belongs. So if this challenge could be solved, where we could use these upcycled wood products. Exterior materials. They're continuously exposed to moisture, UV radiation, pests, and extreme temperatures. Traditional protective treatments often involve chemicals that can be harmful to the health or the environment, and even then, they require frequent maintenance. So there is a growing demand for natural, durable solutions that perform reliably across climates and reduce the long-term maintenance burden. There are some samples of our collections below the screen, and while they quietly present themselves, the same product should also be applicable to interiors. So interior, exterior, many different applications for the products. And learnings from my own professional history in design indicates that the need for sustainable materials with aesthetic richness is increasing. There are many available options, but still many of them lack visual uniqueness or fall short in sustainability. And I feel there is still and clearly a gap for materials globally that combine texture, natural depth, and responsible sourcing. So, about the solution. How can we be part of the solution and what is the innovation? In Finland only, we have combined side streams totaling almost 2 million cubic meters per year coming from these construction sites, demolition projects, sawmills. And globally, the amount is huge. So there's lots of material to be reused. And managing all these material flows for reuse requires a process in which materials are collected and sorted either at their point of origin or at a specialized facility. The selected material, the wood material, is then delivered to a wood charring facility where it is upgraded for reuse. And throughout this process, the goal should also be minimizing the logistic part. And in the ideal scenario, the charring facility itself is a mobile unit and operates close to the material streams. And this is the concept that now we have the stable facility for production. This is the next phase of our product development, which we are doing at the moment, to have the mobile facility ongoing. And ideally, after the charring treatment, the upcycled wood material is returned to the very same site to be used again, for example, as exterior cladding, decking, fencing, or interior finishes. And this whole process supports circular economy goals and reduces demand for virgin raw material. Charring, surface charring combined with specialized plant-based treatment, it strengthens the wood's natural ability, gives it a new life, The treatment uses refined oil where all the nutrients have been removed that typically attract fungi and pests, enhancing moisture resistance naturally and without harmful chemicals. And the same process and natural protection creates striking deep toned finishes and tactile textures ideal for interior use. So to sum up, I don't know how much time do I have, but the benefits of this solution is that wood waste, it's transformed to long-lasting, high-value material. Chemical-free treatment ensures minimal VOC emissions and a healthier environment. Moisture, UV and pest resistance is significantly improved. Maintenance needs are reduced. Long-term carbon storage is enabled by extending the material's life. The forests can grow longer. And for professionals in the built environment like yourselves, this means real-world impact, cost savings, longer building lifespan, and improved property value. And globally, when we reuse existing material flows, wood that has already been harvested, we don't just reduce waste, we allow forests to grow. We lower emissions from harvesting, processing, and transport, which is one key element. We cut costs, reduce pressure on raw materials, and add value where others see waste. And we increase resilience in a world where supply chains are fragile and climate goals are urgent. So it's not just smart design, it's a global responsibility. So we already have the material. So I think it's time for us to use it wisely. And regarding those certificates, we do have those. I noticed that there's a couple of them missing, but as regarding the ISO certificates, they read pending. That's due to we have a new facility up and running at the moment, so we will be having those within 2 to 3 months. So that's only that. But the most important, PFC, CE marking, key flag, EN, that's what we have. And also LEED and BREEAM can be applied. That's from me. Hopefully you get a good picture of what we were up against and how the solution came up. And I will take us further with this insight and expertise. Happy to hand over to Isabella Lundberg.
Thank you, Jukka. I also have to mention that my sauna is also built with heel wood, so it's really great product and it can handle the heat, I can assure you. Yeah, but thank you for having me here today. I'm Isabella Lundberg, one of the founders and CEO of EFI company. EFI is a manufacturer of air handling units. We do also hoods and other accessories for ventilation. I'm passionate about indoor air quality and sustainable building solutions. The idea that everyone deserves to breathe clean air, no matter where they live or what kind of home they have. Good air quality shouldn't be a luxury. It's a basic human need. Real-time air quality monitoring is easy, but using that data to optimize the ventilation still demands decades of expertise in airflow, building physics, and real needs of people using the space. We actually take over 20,000 breaths a day, most of them indoors, at home, at work, in schools. But have we ever stopped to think about what we're actually breathing? The truth is indoor air quality can be up to 20 times more polluted than outdoor air. Why? Because of the dust, chemicals from furniture and cleaning agents, allergies, moisture, mold and bacteria, and carbon dioxide from the air that we exhale. This all can cause breathing problems, fatigue, and poor concentration. Bad air quality is especially dangerous for children, elderly people, and people with asthma or allergies. We care a lot about what we eat and drink, but what we breathe is just as important. High humidity level supports the growth of mold, bacteria, and dust mites, bad for both health and buildings. Moisture condensing on walls and ceilings can cause insulation damage, building damage, and expensive repairs. Especially in buildings with weak insulation, we often lose warm air during winter and cooled air during summer. This leads to high energy use and significantly increases heating and cooling costs. Today's modern buildings challenges is that buildings are much more airtight, which is great for saving energy, but it also means they no longer breathe naturally. We can't just open a window anymore, especially in cities where outdoor air may be polluted, in cold climates where it's no energy efficient. In warm countries, we fight against heat stress by cooling the indoor air. This makes mechanical ventilation not optimal, but it is essential for us. The role of ventilation isn't just about feeling comfortable, it's essential for health, energy efficiency, building durability and sustainability. Today's modern ventilation solutions are designed to be smart by using AI. They are quiet, they are very compact, easy to connect to any BMS systems, and very energy efficient. Smart ventilation systems not just adjust airflows and optimize their functions with VOC, CO2 levels, humidity, pressure, and temperature. This ensures the best air quality at all times automatically. With smart systems, you can track your air quality, adjust settings, and control the system even from your phone or any BMS system. Real-time air quality monitoring is easy, but using that data to optimize ventilation still demands decades of expertise in airflow, building physics, and user needs. Ventilation is not just about air, it's about how we live. Fresh air is important sleep, mental clarity, and mood. It supports children's learning and adults' productivity. It protects our homes and saves energy. To put it very simple, investing in ventilation is investing in our health, our buildings, and our future. With smart, sustainable solutions, we can make sure the air we breathe every day is clean and healthy as it should be. Thank you. And I guess now I will pass it to Bilal and Ahmed for questions and answers.
Thank you so much, Isabella, Natasha, Shabani, and Yuka, for very insightful sessions and knowledge sharing and learning. So we have a few questions on the chat. I also encourage other attendees to post their questions, or they can open their mic and ask. First question comes from Sayed Pervez. I'm not sure who is it addressed to, but availability of what composite material post-construction, maintenance period, warranty, worldwide availability, supplier in North America or Middle East.
Maybe Natasha.
Yeah, so that was a lot. So it was like availability. Let's start with availability. So like I can now talk from Voodio's perspective. We are just in the process of opening a new kind of factory. So we'll be able to produce a lot of wood composite products. Guarantee is the standard guarantee that we normally give is like in the sanitary world is 5 years, but definitely for bigger projects, like we have also case by case discussed like longer time periods, because we know our material is a really long lasting material. So definitely we also don't have any doubt that we can give a longer guarantee. Could you kind of repeat the other topics that were asked about wood composite once again?
Right. So they asked warranty, maintenance period, and worldwide availability.
Yeah, worldwide availability, definitely, since it's a lightweight product, it's also easy to kind of distribute. Manufacturing for the sanitary products, as we do at Voodio, is currently only in Finland, but we work with roughly 20 countries nowadays outside of Finland. Furthest US, Canada, where we have working together or cooperating with the distributor, Japan, for sure most important, like also the Middle Eastern countries.
Right. Thank you so much, Natasha. We have another question from Mr. Sayed Alvi. How do your wooden construction buildings perform in the Middle East climate because of extremely hot, humid, and dry weather here? And the second question, again from Mr. Sayed Alvi, is: do you have any references in the MENA region?
Yeah,
so maybe that would be, Shabani.
Yes, I think that's addressed for me. Yes, we have delivered structures for very demanding conditions. We have also delivered to Middle East. We have some projects in Saudi Arabia and Israel. Then we have had other harsh conditions that maybe can be related to is in Algeria and Mongolia. And then in Japan, we have also a lot of deliveries for the earthquake areas. And for the climate question, I try to explain shortly because Arctic pine is a hygroscopic material. So timber lives according to humidity fluctuations. So it means that when humidity fluctuates, the cell walls of the wood will swell or shrink, which leads to changes in the log. And during our production, we control the quality very well, and also we try our product before manufacturing so that this swelling and shrinking would be minimal during the usage. And also in this hygroscopic feature of timber means that it stabilizes the humidity in the air, release and absorbs. So that's why it keeps the indoor air quality in good balance and in very good level for human to breathe. Was there something else that was asked?
Just it spoke about its performance in climate and the references in MENA. So I think you covered both. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We have again a question for Shabani from Mr. Zafar Hayat. How does engineered log construction contribute to reducing a building's embodied carbon compared to conventional framing systems?
Okay, yes. So the emissions from manufacturing the materials for traditional concrete or brick wall structure is 3.5 to 5.5 times higher than emissions from manufacturing the log wall structure. And by replacing the traditional stone materials with wood and log structures as much as possible, reduce the emissions very much. And in addition to emissions, wood and log structures store 1.6 kilos of carbon dioxide for every kilo, and the share of renewable materials in log structure is 98%. And if we compare that to carbon dioxide stored in concrete and brick structures, which is 0 kilo. So I think that explains quite well comparison between log structure and concrete structures.
Thank you for the insightful response, Shabani. We have a question from Mr. Saeed Jamal, and this is for Isabella. What advantages do these compact units offer over central HVAC in terms of installation time, maintenance, and zoning flexibility?
So basically, the small units, they have like all needed components integrated in the unit. So they are very easy to install, and use. And also the maintenance is very easy because there's only like filters which you have to check like twice a year or when needed. And if you connect these systems to the BMS, you can also get alarms to some of the functions if you want. So you can in advanced do a service or something like that. You can also manage areas independently with these units. And also the ductworks that you do are much more easier than compared to bigger units. So I guess those are the biggest benefits that we have.
Right, and zoning flexibility, you said.
Yeah, it's very flexibility because you can have like maybe 20 small units, which each of them take care of their own section of the building. So you can have the ventilation when needed, when there's people or when they are in use. So we also have a week schedule program in our units. So you can do a schedule for the week. So they will then optimize the function according to how the space is used.
Thank you, Isabella. Next question comes from Mr. Pervez, addressed to Yuka. How do these materials perform in extreme climates, particularly in terms of UV stability, fading, cracking over time?
I've been muted. Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, it's the material as Isabella said, that it works in saunas, which are the temperatures can be over 100 degrees. There's moisture, there's everything. So it's developed to perform well in extreme climate conditions, including high UV exposure. So one of the key protective elements is that modified linseed oil that penetrates deeply through the char and carbon layer, reaching almost to the wood's core. And when it's exposed to UV radiation, this oil reacts so that it furthers the hardening, so enhancing the mechanical durability also on the surface over time. And importantly, UV doesn't damage the structure of the wood, but it can cause visual changes in certain surface tones. So in our ISO accelerated weathering test, products are exposed to intense UV radiation, equivalent to roughly 3 years of natural conditions. And the results showed that products treated with clear modified oil tend to fade more visibly than those with pigmented finishes. So you add color, then the color it stays much better. However, this fading is purely aesthetic. The structural protection remains intact. And in addition to the environmental factors such as wind, sand, and rain affect some surface finishes more than others. And for clients who want to preserve their original appearance, a reapplication of oil is possible and can slow down or prevent the patination. And for example, in saunas regarding the cracking, the charring process is performed on fully dried wood at extremely high temperatures, around 1000 degrees for a short time. So the surface is then saturated with oil that penetrates the wood cells, strengthening the material and minimizing the moisture absorption. This process significantly reduces movement and cracking, and the material is even widely used in Finnish saunas. And there's not without significant deformation or cracking. And also charred wood cladding, it works as an insulation for the buildings in those environments. So it absorbs the heat, and then it keeps the buildings cooler. I hope this answers to, yeah. So it's all natural, no toxic. Basically what we use is wood, fire, water, and modified linseed oil, and that's it. And have this protection for the buildings.
Yeah, very interestingly, we've seen a lot of wood applications here in the region, and most of them either fade or they crack and deform looks like
Yeah.
you found the right formula. So thank you for the answer.
Thank you.
We have a question for Natasha from Mr. Zaid Omar. Do these composite-based products require specialized insulation systems, or are they compatible with standard fittings used in most bathroom designs?
Yeah, they're all kind of complying to the standard kind of requirements. So in that sense, no special fitting, no special kind of insulation needed for the product. So
yeah, but very, very interesting. I mean, when I first saw your product, I said, wow, I've never seen such a product exist in the world elsewhere. And it brings amazing aesthetics to different colors and texture and design and element, which changes the whole getup of these wet areas.
It does, and I think that the main also kind of concern that people have when talking about wood in wet spaces is definitely is it waterproof? But due to this kind of specific mix with the binder, it's like a 100% waterproof material. Even if you cut it, it doesn't lose its functionality. So
amazing. Right. Our next question is for Yuka from Shami Atrium. And the question is, from a design standpoint, how flexible is the product in terms of custom colors, patterns, or finished textures for interiors?
Well, as you can see from the picture, it's very flexible in terms of visual design. The charring process itself creates a rich surface texture that varies depending on wood species. Our main product is Nordic pine, as in AS product also, but we can do any other wood species also. So the wood species, brushing intensity, and temperature control, those are the main factors. And for interior applications, we can further customize the finish by adjusting the level of brushing, gloss, or oil pigmentation to match the specific design goals. We do have our collection for this year, but I think it changes, if not during the year, but for the next year, because we are listening and learning and trying to find out the right solution and the right colors. But the custom colors can be achieved by adding pigments to the oil treatment, and the surface can range from very smooth to deeply textured depending on how it's processed post-charring. So this makes it suitable for everything from minimalistic modern interiors to rustic and tactile spaces. Also in exterior surfaces and applications. So we also collaborate directly with designers to develop tailored finishes for specific projects, ensuring both visual uniqueness and full technical compatibility with indoor use. So it's flexible.
Thank you, Yuka. Probably I'll take the last question. This is from Mr. Hamza, addressed to Isabella. How do these systems maintain consistent airflow and filtration performance in hot, dusty, or humid climates?
Yeah, so I can only talk about like AFI's products and how we have done it. So we monitor different data and optimize the function of the unit accordingly, what it needs. Also, the whole design protects the components from the dust and moisture. There are a lot of small details which do matter in the big picture. But of course, you have to change the filters to time. And of course, with the sandstorms, you can have the units in the BMS, and then you can get a alarm if there is a issue with the filtration. But we automatically try to always keep the level where the unit has been set up. So even having a little dust or something in the unit, we will optimize its function so it always tries to reach the level where you have put the the function for it.
Thank you, Isabella. What I understood is you have HEPA filters within, so that basically stops like the smallest microns of dirt and dust particles from flowing into the room.
Yes, as a standard, we use Isocore filters, F7 and G4, but you can also have HEPA filters, which then are very effective to different pollutions.
Yeah, it looks like, sounds like the need of the hour within our region, because we have a lot of dust storms, especially in summers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also very humid air.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the humidity sometimes can go up to 80%. So, yeah. Thank you so much, Isabella. Thank you so much for your questions from the audience. What I would request, Ahmed from CPShub, to maybe we could just before we close, we go into the website for a few seconds so that the attendees could just have a familiarization on the website and then get in contact with the speakers. There, I have posted their contact companies and LinkedIn's, so you can connect directly with them in the chat. So yeah, this is Vudio. Maybe Natasha, some 20 seconds, last words.
Yep. Yeah. So our homepage, you get probably a quite good overview of what we're really doing. And I think the pictures of the products, it's explain itself much better than like 1,000 words. So you can browse, check out the wash basin solutions we have, the bathtubs, toilets. We also have a dedicated kind of sector for kind of professionals where you can see also reference pictures of projects we have kind of done already, where you also get technical information. For sure, also feel free to be in contact directly if you have any questions, but just to get a feel what the product is like and looks like, I think our homepage gives a quite good picture as a start.
Very good, Natasha. Thank you so much. So we have Contio, maybe Shabani, last 20 seconds.
Yes, thank you. I think also the picture speaks for themselves, what you can do with logs. So please feel free to visit our web pages and contact us directly for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabani. Phil, Yuka, I think probably, mute.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seem to have problem with that all the time. But yeah, on our side, you will see some references, the products in the whole collection, basically. And when you tag those there, you can see the use cases or the applications, how they're produced. And we're adding the reference cases there all the time. So also the international cases also. And you can, as you can see, you can also order a sample box from us. Just click that one and give your contact information, and we will send you one with the brochures. And we do have brochures also in Arabic language, so shouldn't be a problem there. What else? Yeah, please feel free to directly contact me, and let's keep in touch and see what we can come up with.
Sure. Thank you so much, Yuka. Isabella, AFI?
Yeah, as a sustainable company, there's quite a lot of sustainability things on the web page. And then also the references. We have quite many big Nordic companies that have given us some testimonials, so you can go and check. And also there is a calculation program for professionals, so you can go and play with the numbers, the airflows and so on. The calculation program is also done by a laboratory, so it's not done by us. So all the numbers that you actually see there are tested in laboratory. So they also do the program for us. And if you have any questions about our products, feel free to even contact me and I will connect you with the local partner who will be more than happy to help you. But we do white boxes, so it's not so much to see there. But if you read the insights, that may be things that matter more.
Absolutely, and I love your photos, and I assume these are Finland photos.
Yes.
I'm intrigued to go to Finland. So.
You're more than happy to come and visit our factory.
Thanks so much, Isabella.
Thank you.
So, just a brief about CPShub. We basically offer 3 services. 1, we do business development for international companies. 2, we do webinars, which you have just seen, but these are one of the tools that we connect international or regional companies with the right stakeholders or decision makers. And our 3rd offering is an online platform, which is in beta version currently. If you go to at the projects page, so these are basically 4 databases: projects, product, companies, and people, where you probably can get market intelligence, project intelligence, the products you're looking for in your projects. You can get the right information for easy decision making and directly connecting with manufacturers. These are companies operating within the region or outside the region, so they have their essential elements and parameters for you to connect with them and take the right decision. And then we have a people database similar to LinkedIn, but quite different. This is very focused to the construction industry. So if you're looking to hire someone, you can come here. If you're looking for freelancers, you can come here. If you're looking to connect with someone from a specific company or a project, this would be the time and the place where hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months you will see a lot of reliable, verified data from our website. So please, thank you so much for attending. Please get in touch with either of us directly, either if it's Isabella, Natasha, Shabani, and Yuka. And I would like to thank them for their time and presenting and sharing information and knowledge with us with an intention to raise the bar and raise the standards in the construction industry in the Middle East with very, very amazing product solutions for our projects here in the region. Thank you so much. That's all for today. Please follow us, self-updated for future sessions and other tools that we offer with a humble attempt to digitalize the construction ecosystem. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.